What up? What up? Welcome back. We are back with another installment of the Progression Podcast. The Progression Podcast, where we speak on liberation, education, and elevation. Everyone knows I tell this story all the time. I was liberated from the streets. I was educated in the prison system, and I was elevated once I gave my life to Jesus Christ. Good morning, good evening, good night. This is your man 007. I'm your host of the Progression Podcast. And man, it's been a great day, great week, great month, great year. Through all the ups and downs, man. I tell you, hey, it's just been a great time, man. Now, I wanted to get into this thing about character, man, because I've been on this character thing for a while, building character, right? And so the name of this episode is called Character is Built in the Tough Times. Character is built in the tough times, right? So what I want to do first off, I want to get to my scripture that I use every show. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away, and behold, all things have become brand new. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things have passed away, and behold, all things have become brand new. Hey, I want to give a shout out to the people, a salute to the people at Josiah's House Ministries. This segment is brought to you by Josiah's House Ministries, and go on over to www.josiahshouseministries.com and see the good things that those people are doing in the lives of ex-convicts, ex-incarcerated people, that get out like me and need just a helping hand, with clothing, with guidance, with all kind of stuff. So just go over there, man, and donate to those people, man. Those people need your help, right? And so I want to get into it right quick, man. Character is built in tough times. Character is built in tough times. Now, I got to get into it because, man, I'm a say some things, and I'm gonna put you in my business a little bit today. So when I was locked up in prison, that had to been the worst time of my life. So I thought that was the worst time of my life. I just couldn't handle it, man. It was real bad the first time. Now I showed, some fortitude and acted like, nothing was up, because I had to keep that, on me, just to make sure nobody messes with me. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I'm 007, man. I can't be out there, man, like that. So the character is built in tough times only if you can admit what's going on. Some people won't admit what's going on. Some people will go to their grave trying to be hard. And I had to admit that I had messed up. My whole life was in shambles. What I did was stupid, irrevocably stupid, and I must didn't care about my life, I thought. So I had to come to that realization, but it came on my second stint in prison. It came on my first stint in prison. It was needed, but I just didn't learn my lesson the first stint. So the second stint, I tell you, I got it together. God found me because I was the one that was lost. I didn't find God. We always say, "Oh, I found God." No, God found me because I was lost. He had to dig deep down into the dirt to get me. I mean, I was in a dumpster, right? So character is built in tough times. Let's start it, right? In a struggle, right? In a struggle, character is built because it's things that you can go through that can just get your muscles straight. You struggling to do this, and then sometimes, man, some people are just so strong in the head till they'll never go back to that living no more. They'll be like, man, I'll never go back to that. I remember that. Now, to let you in on my business, right? So when I was 16, I was homeless. And I was homeless, and I just said to myself, whenever I get a place, whenever I do get my own place, man, I'll never look back. I'll never go back to that. You know, whatever it takes, I'll never go back to that. And so that built character in me too. But it was a character that was undeveloped. It was undeveloped because it was a street mentality character that I had. So I didn't have that character that's built when you have things on the line like children and wives and bills and those kind of things. They make the picture look a little different. You're gonna have to take your thing and make the picture look a little different, right? Now in a struggle, like I say, you get tougher, man. You get tougher. Like we always say, bodybuilders, man, it gotta go till they hurt, man, till it hurt, and then you can start seeing some results. You see those results when you build character, right? In tough times, you find out what's important, man. In tough times, you find out what's important. Now, I got to tell you this, when I was locked up, I found out that it's one thing that you can never get back. You can get back money. You can make money today. You can lose that money tomorrow. And the next day you can make that money right back. Uh Nowadays you can even lose a limb. I'm talking about lose an arm or lose a leg. And man, they got prosthetic things they can put on there. You can be walking again tomorrow. I mean, they got prosthetic arms and all this kind of stuff, man. They got ones that move and everything that's lifelike. So you can get something back. Even we was studying Job the other day, how God said he gave him back, a double portion. I'm pretty sure he had more children when he lost his children. But it's one thing that you can never get back, man. And I'm finna write it because I gotta write it. I didn't write it for this one, but it's called time. It's one thing that you can't get back. So I'm gonna tell you, probably about 35% of my life now I've been incarcerated in and out of prison. 35%. So I've only lived 65% of my life, out here in the free world. And that's not a good thing, man. That's not a good thing. So time is so important that they know. And when I say they, you know who I mean, because you always say, who is they? They know how important time is. So they give you the time. They give you 20 years, and they give you 20 years, and they know you can never get that 20 years back. You might have had children, and you when you really get to be with them, man, they can visit you, but when you really get to be with them, you'll be older, they'll be older, their understanding will be different, your understanding will be different. Now you might be on some good, but they might be on some, whoa, don't try to tell me what to do once you get out, because you wasn't doing the right thing. You haven't been, and so some people don't see the transformation in you while you locked up, right? And time is so important. You can get all that stuff back. You can get money, you can get like I said, limbs, you can get anything back. Relationships, you can get that girlfriend back, you can get your husband back, but you cannot get that time back, right? Right now that I'm speaking, it's 8:30. I mean, it was 8:29. I can't get that time back. I can't get that time back. right? The time that I wasted, I couldn't get it back. Now, I wanted to tell you this because we're talking about character. Character is built in tough times, right? So we got to understand what's essential, what's meaningful, and embrace it, right? What is meaningful? You find out when you're in prison what's meaningful and what's important. Some things you thought that was essential or meaningful in your life became pedestrian in the larger picture. I used to like to hang out on the corner. That was my thing. I used to kick it with the fellas. And I thought, man, this is what's up. I don't know why, people tripping on this, but I found out that was a big waste of time. A lot of times, and maybe people do this, and it's not a knock to y'all, but it's just a waste of time to me. But going to the club every weekend, I mean, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, going to the club, you know, it was a big waste of time for me, right? I could have been doing something productive with that time. That was 2 hours of shopping, getting ready, and 1 hour getting ready, and going to the club for 4 hours out of my day. And man, that's a good 7 hours or whatever I'm taking. No, I didn't use my time wisely. Like I said, time is the biggest thing you can have. Like they say, time is money. I know that sounds cliche, but they really right. Time is money, man. Time is money. So when people waste your time, when people waste your time, man, it's a big thing, man. So I'm gonna tell you, and I might seem, cold or callous with this, but sometimes I say no a lot now. The older I get, the more no's come out of my mouth because I don't want to put nothing, I don't want to put my hand on nothing that my heart is not in. I don't want to just, do anything, because if I'm not really in it, I'm not really in it. And I don't want to muck your thing up. So think about this, man. Just do you, do your thing, and don't waste my time. My time is so valuable. I'm going to tell you why. I'm supposed to be dead. I had an appetite for destruction out in those streets, man. I did a lot of things and that I'm not proud of, and I messed over a lot of people, and I apologize to those people. But don't waste my time because I'm supposed to be dead. This is God's time. I'm supposed to be locked up. This is God's time, and you're wasting God's time because it's not my time. It's not my time anymore. I used to think it was. It's my time. It's God's time. So if you wasted my time, man, only serious, how they say, only serious inquirers, only inquirers that are serious inquire. So one thing I want to tell you about being locked up, being at your lowest can teach you more than when everything is going good. Being at your lowest can teach you more than when everything is going good, right? So me and my wife, we was talking the other day, and I told her, I heard it somewhere. Someone said, you really want to see who your friends are? Become a burden. Become a burden. You really want to see who's in your corner? Become a burden. And so me getting locked up, and I got locked up at the end of my career, so the money was not coming in. It was the end of it, and I was spending all the doggone money thinking it would be there forever, and thinking that, oh, well, I could do a show today. Oh, man, I can spend this money. I can do a show next weekend. Man, I can get this money back and do this, and then you start hustling, you start doing all kind of illegal stuff just to keep up that persona that I did. So, like I said, I was at my lowest when I was in prison. And so the people that were taking care of me, sending me money, that was taking care of my physical needs, people that was writing me letters, that was taking care of my mental needs. uh the Bible was taking care of my mental needs as well. um that was teaching me a lot. Just a quick story. My wife, she she had a book, and the book was called something. I forget what the book was called. And I never read the book, never read the book. I was like, man, whatever. So she sent me some papers one time in a letter. And in the letter, I read the papers, and I was blew away by what the papers said. And I say, man, this is so cool. This is what's up. And she said, did you read those papers I sent you? I said, yeah, man, that was good. She said, you know what? Those papers are in that book you didn't read. So it was like one of those Jehovah sneaky things, right? So I think it was the power of a praying husband. I think that's what it was. The power of a praying husband. That book, I think it was Stormy or Martian, somebody. But it was a great book. I ended up picking it up, and getting into it and stuff, and I enjoyed it. But I'm telling you, it taught me so much. It teaches you so much when you at your lowest, right? I got to go back to this, like, in tough times, you find out what's important. In tough times, you find out what's important. Family is very important, but you are very important as well. You have to find that fine line in between you and everyone else. You have to be astute, stout to know what you're doing toward your life, right? We know your character is built in the tough times, and you have to learn from those things. Don't go through all that and don't learn from it. Don't get out of prison after doing 15 years and say, man, I just can't handle it out here. Let me tell you something, man. Take your time. Take your time, man. I'm telling you, I'm the king of patience. Hey, I wait my turn. That's what I say. There's three things in this world why I win, man. I put God first, and I don't hate on nobody, and I wait my turn. That's the three things, man, that I do in this life that helps me win, right? Three things. I tell everybody that I put God first, I don't hate on nobody, and I wait my turn. Patience, being patient is a superpower. Being patient is a superpower. So when you get home and plan ABC don't work, plan DEF don't work, hey man, it's a whole bunch of letters. It's a whole bunch of alphabet, man. Just keep going, and you're not going to, do it all at once. How do you eat an elephant? How do you eat an elephant? Bit by bit. Man, take your time and do what you got to do. In tough times, you find out what's important. What's important is being free. Man, I can go to the store if I want to. I can just jump in my truck or jump in my car, whatever, and just go to the store and get what I want to eat. I don't have to worry about asking nobody, hey, man, can I go to the restroom? I ain't got to raise my hand and I'll let me. Hey, man, this is the life. This is the life. Man, my last thoughts, man, on character is built in tough times. What you have to do is do for you, man. And doing for you, God's plan is just for your life is just so more than what you have for your life. I remember when I was locked up, it was a man named Marshall in there. He told me something. He said, your best thinking got you right here. That's what he told me. Your best thinking got you right to this point. What you thought was best for your life, the decisions that you were making for your life, what you thought was best for your life got you right here. Now, he was in there with me too, but he had been there. He had a life sentence. So he had been there so long till he had got that wisdom and he was just imparting it into me, and he was never coming home. His thing said this date till deceased. I had a date to get out. His said to deceased. So I was listening to him. I took that in my mental Rolodex, what he was teaching. So I started to say, man, I'm gonna stop just listening stuff going in one ear and coming out the other. I'm gonna start listening and retaining and trying to see what's best for me and my family. That's my last thoughts, man. Leave your comments. I want to know what you think about the episode, man. It's been a great time, man. I want y'all to still go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that, YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Progression Podcast, man. The Progression Podcast, man. I'll see you on Facebook and on Instagram, man, liking the stuff and telling me to keep going. I see people on the street saying, man, keep going. We hear you, man. I got people that's coming out of prison that need to be taught, taught this navigation, man. It's hard to navigate these streets. And I think that's my job to help, you know what I'm saying? So whatever it takes, you know, that's what I do. So what I want to tell y'all, man, is this. God can blow your mind only if you let him. Stop blocking God. He can blow your mind. Just let him, man. And look, I want to tell you this like I always say. Do the right thing and the right thing will find you, right? And man, you don't have to have it all together. You just got to be, 100 with yourself. Just be 100 with yourself, man. Don't let your yesterday kill your tomorrow, man. Don't let your yesterday kill your tomorrow. And I love y'all, man. This 007, man. I'm just so happy that this thing can go down like this, man. Hey, I love y'all. Peace.